Switch gears, since I think we just got the show canceled by saying those 3 letters. I think we're pretty screwed for that, but it's still good to get the information out. But we were talking about earlier about Keone. So I want you guys, Mr. Olympia is coming up. It's in Orlando. Let's go. Let's talk about Keone. First time I've seen him today. I'm not super into bodybuilding. I do appreciate it, but I don't keep up with the individual people. But I watched a video today of him going from obviously when he was younger to now, and like I was looking and I was like, he looks big as hell in those pictures, and he's way bigger now. Like he's a beast.
The Keone Prodigy, is that his name?
I saw him doing bent over barbell rows with 315, and I was like, that's crazy. And he's doing it with good form.
He's got that Mensa density with way better shape and foot. Oh.
There we go.
Oh wow! I was like, not sure. Yeah, so like that. I don't know. Like the way he stands is just sick. But his muscle bellies and his definition and his balance is just 10 times better than anything Mensa could ever even do.
Yeah, look how feathered his freaking quads are.
So
that's nuts.
Baby prodigy. Yeah, look at him. That's cute. Look at his face. That's hilarious.
So I just want you to note that right there, from this shot, this was classic physique. There was less stuff being run than females run, like a fraction of it.
Wow.
He was natural and took 4th at the Arnold Classic, only eating bison for the last month and carving up with pizza.
Yeah.
No one knows that story. No one will believe me either.
That sounds like a first prep. That's not even like, dude, that's sick. Wow.
What do you guys see Nick Walker? He's like 26. Yeah. Massive fucker. Massive dude.
He reminds me of a Belgian blue cow, Nick Walker.
Right? Because I don't know how tall he is, but he is a gargantuan. Like that. If you guys, he's competing in the Olympia this year too, I think.
Yeah, he is. He qualified in the middle of the year at some point, but he looked phenomenal on stage.
He's got a crazy wow factor with the definition that he brings out with his abs. And nobody really has a shape like him. And he's like, he reminds me of an actual math monster that's like cool to look at. And like, I think once you get down to his calves, you're like, what? But like right above that, I forget what the varicose, those aren't varicose.
They're varicose veins. He needs to get the varicose veins laser
off. Yeah. But otherwise, I think that he brings something that's, completely different. You don't see a lot of definition in those guys because of how bloated they end up being. So when he tightens up his midsection and still flexes his abs, I thought it was pretty cool, especially in a comparison shot. And his tan was sick at the last shot. I mean, those pictures are just dumb. Some of the stage shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's bigger in person. I saw him at Junior Nationals when he was doing guest posing, and
he is a freaking person.
He caught me off guard with how big he was, and I don't get caught off guard with how big bodybuilders are.
God damn.
Yeah, he's huge. Another one who's up and coming, Brett Wilkins took 2nd at the Chicago Pro, and he looked phenomenal. Like in person, like I don't even think pictures do him justice. He was phenomenal. Yeah, that was at the Chicago Pro. But absolutely peeled to the bone, very aesthetically pleasing. Just
he's got a nice tight waist too. At least on that front
look
shot.
how peeled he is. Wait for this side shot. So look at the skin. It's just like there's not much there.
Wow.
That's peeled.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when that tricep comes out and they have that water taken off of that like rear delt to tricep split, and they hit that side tricep, and you can that's perfect.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, he's one of the best, most conditioned people I've actually seen in person. He looked phenomenal. So
that's crazy.
Do you guys have
go ahead.
Do you guys have a favorite? Do you prefer like classic or bodybuilding or men's physique?
I'm a fan of bodybuilding, period. A lot of people like trash talk bodybuilding, like bodybuilding shouldn't be as big as it is. I'm like, some of these guys, they're just very genetically blessed and they just get that big with the same. What's supposed to happen is everyone pretty much takes very similar drugs, and whatever you grow into, right? That's how it's supposed to be. You train hard, you eat big, you get big. You can get big without drugs. And then if you end up getting big without drugs, guess what? You're probably going to be an open bodybuilder. If you can't, if you don't want to abuse drugs and you have to abuse drugs because you're genetically limited, you don't abuse the drugs. If you're get somewhat big and you happen to be a hyper responder to drugs, well, guess what? You need very little drugs and you're going to get huge anyways. So there's that genetic component that I hate that people go to the drug abuse piece of it instead of just do what you need to be a professional athlete. Just like every other sport, they take steroids, they take performance enhancers, and they don't abuse it. Why? Because they're getting, hey, the doctor giving you this. So look at drugs for what they're medically intended for and how to utilize them and be intelligent with them. And like, first off, you're going to have better longevity. You're going to have life outside of bodybuilding. But at the end of the day, like, you're going to genetically fall into, because if you end up forcing drugs into forcing yourself into a class, well, guess what? You're never going to be number one in the world, because you're going to have someone like Keone Pearson out there, like Phil Heath out there, like Ronnie Coleman, who were freaks. Naturally, they were natural. They were on pro stages, pretty much winning pro stages naturally. And people forget that that's a real thing. Like, yes, it's okay to be good at something. You don't have to be the best in the world. You also don't have to kill yourself trying to do something that you were never intended to do.
I remember I saw some type of study where they were studying like the DNA and different stuff of bodybuilders who are really gifted genetically, and they found some types of different variations in like gene expressions or something. You know, like you were mentioning the Belgian blue cow. I mean, that's just a gene mutation that turns off the myostatin inhibition. Or
I'm going to say Keone probably has a myostatin situation going on. That's always my first guess, because of, you know, things that have come researching YK11 and finding out about myostatin. Like, when I see those full ass little kids or the cows, the first thing I think is myostatin inhibition, but you never really know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's interesting. I mean, there's definitely genetics. Like you said, I mean, Keone was natural, Ronnie Coleman was natural for a while, and they just look like monsters, you know, and people look at them and be like, you're on steroids. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Do you think it's just high testosterone levels, though? Do you think it really could just be that? You know, the bone structure.
I've taken 500 milligrams of test, and I did not look like Keone in any way, shape, or form, and never could I feel like I could get to that level.
I guess it's the same thing. I'm not really sure.
I do have a theory, though, that some of these younger guys that do start lifting, one, they're genetically prone to get big anyways. But because of the amount of the high IGF-1 levels, one, they're kids, and they replicate and they create more muscle cells. I have a theory that these younger kids genetically are displaced to have this happen no matter what. So they start lifting or start training and they start doing football, whatever sport it is, and they just build a ton of muscle tissue at a young age. Guess what happens when you get bigger and when you start lifting more, and as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's because you quintupled all this muscle tissue in the beginning. I think that potentially happens because genome expressions can be heightened or reduced as time goes on. But there's something that happens, I believe, when these guys are really young. Bone structure is one thing, but the actual DNA and how much muscle you can create is very a genetic component. And on top of it, I've seen people with zero testosterone, literally females with zero testosterone, that can lift more than most men and that can grow muscle tissue more than people on steroids, like females with literally zero hormones. I've seen it on blood work. So I don't think it's a hormone thing. I think it's a literally freakish DNA replication thing that happens when they're kids or something like that. It's not a gene gets expressed or a gene gets reduced or something. And yeah, myostatin inhibiting is one thing, but they actually haven't found a true myostatin inhibitor that can work in a human. It works in rats, right? Myostatin, but it doesn't work in humans.
I just meant naturally you just have lower myostatin levels. I don't know. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We're under a time crunch just because of the platform we use. So I wanted to kind of wrap up. Check out Zach on Instagram, the.retro1. Is that correct? Crazy Muscle in Orlando. Check out the link to check out Morphogen. Really cool products, really detailed lineup. Check out Sam. He's got some goodies, and he's got a really awesome pre-workout. You can listen to this. Check out the clips on YouTube. Check us all out on social. All the links will be below. And I thank all you guys for being here. This was a lot of fun. Zach, thank you for coming on. I had a great time talking to you. Anything else, you guys? Final words? We got like 40 seconds.
Sam wants to say something. Get it.
I would agree with Dave in terms of the gene expression and the DNA. I think as as you go through life and you continue that evolution with drugs as well as your mental piece, you actually can change those expression of different things in your body, and you can actually morph that over time. Because you look at, like, I was 120 pounds and I was 6'1.5", and now I'm 240. Like, yeah. Anyways, I know we're running out of time. I appreciate you guys.
Too Much Podcast. You guys are awesome. We'll see you back here next time.